Hi, and here we are at church number 6. So far, it's been all reproach and correction. But today is good news. Philadelphia is a church that is doing things right. And Jesus is encouraging them to keep on going with patient endurance. So I'm really glad that you're in on this whole series and that you've been following along. If you want, you can kind of recap what we've done before. Because by the time you get to church 6, I think we need to remember all of the cautions that have taken place before. As you know, we're trying in this series to get love right. Jesus wants us to address all of the issues that are going on in our life before the whole book of Revelation kicks in, right? But with Philadelphia, he takes a little bit of a break from just warning against sort of errors or things that you could do wrong, and encourages us to keep doing the things that are right. In fact, Jesus gets introduced in this letter as the Holy and True One. And then there's an obscure reference to him having the key of David. Let's take a little bit of a look at that. The key of David. It says, who opens and no one shuts, and who shuts and no one opens. That's a reference to an Old Testament role. It's found in Isaiah 22, verse 22. And it talks about Eliakim, who was a doorkeeper to the king David. He had the key to the door of the throne. That meant that nobody can go in to see King David unless they go through Eliakim, right? Unless you have that key. Similarly, what Jesus is trying to say in this letter is that entering into the kingdom of God, meeting God, getting it right up there into the throne room, it's not something that's determined by us. It's a reminder that we don't make the rules up. We are not God, and we can't reach God on our own. So, how do we do it? What is this place that is doing the thing that is correct and good, that is able to enter into the kingdom of God, who is able to be found faithful and true all the way to the end? Well, they have little power. They're not a big, epic church, but people are coming to them. And it says in Revelation chapter 3, verse 10, because you have kept my word about patient endurance. It also says in Revelation 3, verse 11, hold fast to what you have. It's talking about the things that we do every day, quietly, without fanfare. It sits directly after the letter to Sardis, which is about outward appearance and show. It sits as a direct contrast to Sardis. This church in Philadelphia, they're not swayed. You know, it's about that kind of going on and on faithfully over time. You know what it's like. It's tough being a home group leader for years. It's tough serving in kids ministry for ages, or maybe waking up in the morning doing devotion every day. But that is what love looks like. It's about patiently enduring through to the end of that race, like running a long marathon. So think about when Jesus writes to the church in Philadelphia, he's writing, encouraging them to keep on patiently enduring, to keep going on, but not to lose their first love, right? Because that word, patient endurance, is actually mentioned in the first letter. But in Ephesus, they kind of like patiently just roll on day to day, right? They're just like, oh my goodness, this is so boring. I just got to keep doing it. The patient endurance that is in view here is different from that. It is that steadfastness of doing the right thing even though no one looks, of continually following after God and keeping a great attitude about it. The reward is that they will be a pillar in the temple. That means that they will be a provider of stability for others. In fact, that word pillar is mentioned in 1 Timothy 3:15, which says that the household of God, which is the church of the living God, will be a pillar and a buttress of truth. You know, I'm hoping that that is FGA's potential. That is the potential for our church, that even though we're smallish, we're not great influences of the world and worship and things like that, but if we patiently endure, if we steadily do those things that are important to God, even when nobody is looking, I think we will be able to reap the reward that God has promised for us. So take some time, look at this letter to Philadelphia and see what we can learn from it. God bless.